The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. Today we are discussing NXT Vengeance Day 2023. I'm Jez. That's Dan, holding onto his championship by the skin of his teeth after tying the quarter after the Royal Rumble.
Dear life.
I'm still coming for it. It's still happening. I need to find something to put there instead of the TNA World title.
Yeah, but I'm going to try and hold on to it until Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
Because that's when it's at the London O2.
And you want to bring the belt with you to Money in the Bank?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Because you've never actually held this belt before.
I haven't, no.
So I want to be the one to rub it in your face in person.
Like, literally just push it into my face and mush it around a little bit.
Yes.
Hopefully those plates aren't too raised and it doesn't like take a chunk out of my skin or something. But
it's a cheese grater. But
we digress. And I suppose it's worth digressing when it comes to NXT at the moment because it hasn't been stellar entertainment, shall we say, especially not this year so far. We covered the New Year's Evil event and promptly wished that we didn't.
Less said about that one, the better.
So we've come into Vengeance Day hoping for a better experience and hoping that this is better. We kick off with the introduction to the pay-per-view, or premium live event, by Charlotte Flair. What were your thoughts on that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why was it her?
I didn't really get it. I didn't really understand why she was... I guess history of NXT, and she was influential in the early days of NXT, especially with the Women's Revolution and everything that came from that. But was it necessary?
No,
probably not. I found it quite awkward, her stood in the middle of the rampway and then bringing out the opponents either side of her and just going just looking at them. Like, it's a bit weird,
especially when it was like the Breaker Waller one, considering how much they have fought, and there's been that altercation at the Performance Center. Have them just standing there and not do anything. It's a bit like, that's strange. The mystical world of WWE gone, isn't it?
They couldn't keep their hands off each other leading up to this event, but because it's Charlotte Flair, damn it, they're just going to stand there and play ball. It didn't really work for me either. But, kudos for them bringing people down from the main roster to do it, especially people that were influential. I think they missed the mark with it being Charlotte there, really, personally. So... not a great start, but we'll get into the first match and see if that improved things. The first contest was for the NXT North American Championship. Wesley defending against Dijak. Would you like to go first?
It was an alright opening.
Yeah.
But was it amazing, great, good match? It was okay.
I have equal number of pros and cons, really. So it was solidly mid.
It was very mid. Very meh.
Yeah. What did you like about it? Let's go with pros.
So I liked the opposite styles. Having the quick pace, high flying, and then there's Dijak who's just big and
puts his foot in your face. Yeah.
Yes. I liked when Dijak told Lee to lie down and take the pin, and Lee lay down and then kicked him in the face.
Yeah, that is my first pro. Yeah, we agree there.
But then apart from that, I was kind of trailed off and lost interest a bit because it just felt like it didn't really do much.
No, and it's that is the problem with the big guy versus small guy kind of stories is they've been done to death, and it's very difficult to do anything new and interesting with them. I did like the way that they performed it. I liked the Death Valley driver outside of the ring. That was dirty. I liked yeeting Wesley out of the ring and then just bouncing him around at ringside. I felt like he took that really well.
Yeah.
And I did see much better strength, a much better showing of strength from Wesley than I expected. I feel like he hoisted up Dijak fairly well.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see. On the con side, my first problem is Wesley kicking out of High Justice, which is supposedly Dijak's finisher.
Yeah, and you have a thing about finishers, and
I do have a bee in my bonnet
finishing
about finishers. Yeah. But that said, it didn't bother me a little bit later when Dijak kicked out at the last moment of that messy Frankensteiner and the flippy dippy move that Wesley does. That didn't bother me so much.
No.
It kind of made more sense that way around.
Yeah.
But it's, the small guy shouldn't be kicking out of the big guy's finisher. That should have been the end of it. And considering later they showed a counter to High Justice, couldn't he have just countered and flipped through then as well, instead of it not being delivered? It didn't really work for me in that sense. The Frankensteiner was messy. And I genuinely think Dijak actually landed on his head, which is very ungood. And I think my biggest con is that Wesley won at all, really.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it wasn't clean fully with the intervention of D'Angelo and Stax. But I don't get it. All this build for Dijak, and then you just have him lose.
Yeah.
I guess you're going to push him off to face D'Angelo and Stax again, but you could have done that anyway. You didn't need to put him in this rivalry with Wesley if that is the direction you were going to go in.
No.
You've kind of stunted the momentum again. And there's only so many times you can repackage this guy,
Yeah. Well, what have we had? So we've had Dominik Dijakovic.
Yes.
That was his first one.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had T-Bar.
Yeah, we had several incarnations of T-Bar.
Yeah, we had several incarnations of T-Bar. There was obviously the first one with the stupid mask and the bald head.
Yeah.
Then we kind of just had him with Mace.
Yeah.
Or Marseille.
With a bit of paint on his face.
Yeah. Then we just kind of had him do stuff on his own random points, like
named T-Bar, but not being T-Bar anymore. Yeah, just and Dijak called T-Bar.
Yeah, and now we've got Dijak.
Well, in between that, the original name that we're going to bring him back with was Donovan Dijak, and then they dropped the Donovan bit and just made him Dijak. So there is even a step that people didn't see. So just can we put a rocket on the guy and get him up towards the main event? He should have won this match. He should have a short run with the North American Championship, and he can be upset by someone at Stand and Deliver, fine. Yeah. And then whoever comes out of Stand and Deliver as NXT champion, go there, Dijak wins. Yeah. Dijak does some stuff, Dijak pisses off to the main roster. It's not a difficult formula. No. He's more than ready for the main roster. They just need to sort out his character and his promo and all that kind of stuff.
And how to book him and all that.
Yeah.
His finger now.
And his finger. Yeah, well, that's my last con. His janky finger dislocated and off to the side. It's quite funny for me because my wife cringed so much watching that she accidentally threw her phone into her face. She actually full out threw her phone into her face because she cringed and shuddered so much that she threw her phone into her face. So that's funny. That was amusing. Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Not a big fan of all that kind of stuff. More so since I broke my leg a few years ago and it was all weird and pointing in the wrong direction and stuff. So yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, it was a match. I'm not going to say it was a match that happened, but it was a match.
we'll get to that later.
We both went with Dijak for the win, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it's the only logical way it should have gone.
But, screw logic, right? Wesley won, so therefore we start the day on zeros. Well, we were always starting the day on zeros, but we progressed the day.
Big zeros.
Yeah. The zeros get bigger.
Yes.
Next up, NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. Caden Carter and Katana Chance versus Fallon Henley and Kiana James. Is this the portion of the show where I ask you to describe the match in one word? Are we at that stage?
Yes.
Okay, then. Dan, give me your best word, one word to describe this match.
Meh.
Yeah, that is what I have in my cons as well.
That is literally all I've written is meh.
I don't have any direct cons. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just not really resonating. There were a few pros for me, but they're kind of more general things rather than the actual match. I liked Briggs and Jensen playing valet. You don't see that very much. The men coming to cheer the women and not being part of the match. That's good. I think that's a good part of the progression of wrestling. We should get men playing cheerleader for women. That's good. I liked the ending in that Kiana James still cheated to win.
Yeah.
But did so behind Fallon's back. That's going to come back. That's a nice bit of storytelling that's going to come back.
Yeah.
And I like that the long, boring-ass reign of Caden Carter and Katana Chance is over because, yes, they may be the longest reigning NXT Women's Tag Team Champions in history, but A, who have they defended against except for Toxic Attraction? And
no one.
And how often have they defended it? Not
Never.
Very often is the answer. So it's the Alba Fire of championship reigns, and she's the longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champion, but she defended it against two people over the course of 20 years. So does it count? No, it doesn't. No. So I'm glad that that's over. Any further thoughts on this match?
No.
Nice and succinct. We both went with the prediction of Chance and Carter because I didn't think they were ready to end this reign, and I probably think you were in the same mindset.
Well, can I be brutally honest?
Yeah?
I didn't even think they had the longest reign. Just because I hadn't seen them defend the titles so many times, and it's like, when they said it on the thing, I was like, really?
Oh. So you were like, really? They haven't had it very long, they'll probably keep it.
Yeah. No. That's exactly what I was doing.
I should put you on -1 for that. I think that's a deplorable behaviour. Well,
also I thought the team of whatever they are,
Henley and James.
That's the one. They were they'd just put together, and I hate it when just a random put together team wins a championship.
Yeah. The last random put together team to win the championship in NXT, one of them put the belt in the bin, so they're not on the best footing there. But nobody expected Henley and James to win. I do like that they have, I just don't think it was expected or the direction that I thought they were going. So on that note, I'm kind of happy to stay on 0, nada.
We are a big hole.
Speak for yourself, bro. Moving on. Carmelo Hayes, Apollo Crews, best 2 out of 3 falls. You can kick this one off. Your choice, pros or cons?
Well, I think this is definitely a pickup. This is kind of picking up a bit here now. I like the technical beginning.
Me too.
They were very much technical for quite a while, actually. I thought
most of the first fall, it was all mat based, and it only descended when things got a bit more personal and they started slapping each other. So that progressed nicely. Yeah, so after that's one thing I put is after the first fall, it did pick up. It got more what you're used to these guys. The
quick pace, high flying, etc., etc. I like the fact that Caramello took 2 falls without Apollo even getting one. You know, normally it'd be like one would get a fall and then the other one would get a fall. Oh, we got to deal it on the 3rd fall now. And it's like, no. But I just like the fact that Caramello just went 1, 2. There you are.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. No, I have 2 straight pinfalls in my pros and my cons. I like it. Same reason as you. We don't get to see it very often.
Yeah.
But on the converse side, the fact that it happened to Apollo Crews kind of irks me. Why is Crews in NXT if he's never going to win anything? What's the point?
Because that's it.
I thought he was going, there to go and get the NXT championship. Okay, he tried, he lost, and now he's been distracted by the person that's probably going to be the next NXT champion. So now what? Well, I know now what, and it's my other con, Dabba-Kato turning on Crews, which was just the most inevitable, predictable thing of all time. It's like, oh, this guy's back. Yeah, they used to be like, not buds. He used to be his boss and tell him what to do and stuff, right? Yeah, he's going to turn on him, isn't he? Oh, look, he turned on him. What a shock.
Another repackage.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was originally... What was he originally? It was in...
He was Babatunde.
Raw Underground.
In Raw Underground, yeah. Babatunde.
Then
that
he
lasted
was
a long
Commander
time,
Aziz.
didn't it? Commander Aziz, and then he has been Dabba-Kato since then, but he's been on like Level Up or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever the rubbish is.
Whatever 205 Live is now, with not 205 and under competitors. Yeah. I feel like you could have done more with him than just bring him back to turn on Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
I get that you're trying to find an excuse for Apollo Crews to be doing something else, but it's not like he even cost him the match. I'd have probably been happier if he'd have cost him the match.
Yeah.
And then that's the reason that he lost 2 straight.
Yeah.
It's not what we got.
Yeah.
It's not what we got. That pretty much concludes my thoughts. Anything else from you?
No.
Well, split decision here, prediction-wise.
Oh.
I went for Apollo Crews because
Did you?
He's got to win at some point, right? And no.
He's going to be a jobber.
So I got that wrong. You went with Carmelo Hayes, and that makes you the ones.
I am a 1.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to being a 1, by the way, because I've worked out how to do the Usos sideways 1. So look forward to that.
Oh, have you? Well, I'll look forward to that.
Last thing about this before we move on. Did you see the Twitter interaction between Carmelo Hayes and Carmella?
No.
So during Vengeance Day, Carmella was obviously watching, probably with her partner, Corey Graves, and just tweeted, "Can Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams stop using my catchphrase, please?"
Oh, what? Mellow is money?
Yeah. And so after the show, or a bit later when he wasn't wrestling, Carmelo Hayes quote tweeted it and said, like, which one? Which catchphrase is it that I'm using of yours? I'm like, nice. I don't watch your stuff, Carmelo. You're going to have to be more specific, is the shade that he's throwing there. And then later replied, yeah, I guess I could stop using it. It's good to mix up your catchphrases here and there, right? It's like, burn, absolute burn. And like, sorry, Carmella, but Carmelo, and you're making me go Carmelo, my tongue's all over the place.
Caramello.
You're already less relevant than this guy already, and he's not even on the main roster yet. So
wait until he's on the main roster.
Yeah,
which I don't think will be long.
He is him, and you couldn't even iron a sheet for your entrance. So there you go.
Which they don't have anymore.
No, well, they'd never have ironed it, so that's a good thing. Next.
Yes.
And this came with another split prediction.
Oh, did it?
That at the end. NXT Tag Team Championship. The New Day defending against Chase U, Pretty Deadly, and Gallus. Now, I only have one con here.
Right, go.
And I'm sure you know what it is because it's the same con every time they do this. What type of match was this, Dan?
Oh, this was the way they do the Fatal 4-Way match. You don't agree with it?
This was a Four Corners tag team match.
Yeah.
That's not what they called it. They called it a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. Yeah, it's not. A Fatal 4-Way match would have all the competitors in the ring at the same time, competing all at the same time. This is a Four Corners tag team match because it requires you to tag in and out. Was it New Japan Pro Wrestling that got it right the other day, or Impact Wrestling?
Yeah, it was.
Or someone got it right, and I was rejoicing, and I knew it wouldn't be long before WWE came along and ruined it. So, yeah, that's my con. That's my rant. Now we can move on.
Okay.
What did you like about the match?
I quite liked the match, actually.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and all I've got to say is, Andre Chase, he can go.
He turned up finally, didn't he? Where's this been for the last year and a half?
He just all of a sudden, what the hell? Where the hell's this come from?
Supposedly, this was his hometown.
Yeah.
And he had his family in the arena, and his brother, whom used to be his tag team partner. I guess they entered the wrestling business together. So probably more motivated to win, well, not necessarily to win, but to put on a good show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like he did step up. Unfortunately, I don't feel like I've forgotten his name already. Duke Hudson. I don't feel like he came up and met that level. And Duke Hudson's normally better than that. It was weird. It's like only one of them is allowed to be on fire. The other one has to kind of plod around. And he really did plod around.
Yeah.
It was strange. It just kind of derped through the whole match. But there you go. But yes, good point. What else did you enjoy?
Sticking with Chase U, I forget the girl's name that comes with him.
Thea Hale.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's just a pit bull.
She's just so funny. The way she just shouts all the time and just is like basically the hype person. Mm-hmm. It is hilarious.
I've no idea how she doesn't like blow out her voice the way that she just screams out of nowhere. She's obviously practiced that extensively, and she's really good at it. Yeah. It's
and half fun. The time, all you can hear is her.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with her. You would hope that they will use her more in singles women's. Yeah. But yeah.
It'd be fun to see her in the ring. I'd love to see her just be a firecracker in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, she had a match that she finally won. I think it was either last week or the week before on NXT television. It wasn't anything special, but you know, she's young and new. Yeah. You know, Chase U, kayfabe, signed her straight out of high school. You know, so
yeah,
she was
apparently.
She was still finishing up her high school diploma when she put pen to paper for Chase U.
It sounds a bit dodgy.
It does a bit, but this is Chase U that we're talking about, and the whole thing is a bit dodgy. Yeah. Even that thing that you did isn't theirs. That's University of Miami's thing.
Yeah.
The U. Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised that The Rock hasn't piped up yet as one of the most famous University of Miami alumni, but there you go.
That'd be interesting to see The Rock just turn up at NXT.
Not bother with anywhere else. Just go to NXT. That would be amazing.
Go to NXT while we're doing all this and just be like, no, come in, rock bottom everyone, walk out.
Yeah,
There you go.
It. He's got time for that. Like, I get that he hasn't got time to have a match and, face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff. He's got time to come in and rock bottom Andre Chase.
And Duke Hudson.
Yeah, they're in Florida. He's most of the time in Florida. Like, he'll definitely be in Florida a few times during the XFL season, kicking off next weekend. So, just come in and rock bottom someone.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Do it, Rock. We know you watch.
What else did I like? I liked all of the teams using Pretty Deadly as whipping boys in the early part of the match. And the way that they reacted to it, the kind of comedy element of it, there's no need for them to be in NXT anymore. I think this needs to be up on the main roster. There's nothing else for them to do. Let's make that happen. Maybe on the Raw after WrestleMania. That would be cool.
Yeah. I'd love to see them up there and just be themselves as they are on the main roster and just taking the mick out of all the other tag teams.
I think that is what we're waiting for now, isn't it? It's the Raw after WrestleMania. That is when people are going to be brought up. And the SmackDown, not just Raw.
Yeah.
But, I liked the point where every single last person jumped into the ring to break up the pin. That was good. I liked Pretty Deadly putting the announce table back together after they successfully avoided being put through it. That was more comedy from them. It's like, neat and tidy, place for everything in its place, back to the ring. That was good. And finally, in the New Day's loss, I liked that it was Woods that was pinned. Not necessarily Woods, it could have been Kofi as well, but I liked that the New Day were the ones pinned.
Yeah.
Under the rules, anybody could have taken that loss, and it could have preserved the New Day's kind of respect level, but they didn't. The champs took that pin, and I've got to say respect for that. I expect it was their idea.
Yeah. Fair play to them.
Massive respect. Now, I did not expect the New Day to be losing this match, to be honest with you, which is why I predicted New Day to retain. You obviously did, because you went with Gallus for the win. So, explain yourself. Where did that come from?
Well, I just think it was time for Gallus, and I do honestly think New Day were just placeholders for Gallus to come back and just take the titles.
Couldn't they have just had them beat up Pretty Deadly, though? I don't get it.
I don't get it, but yeah.
There we go. Well, I'll keep my hands down here because I've got nothing to do, and it brings you to being a steaming number 2.
I'm a steaming 2.
Well, it's not going well for me.
No.
It's going average for you. Couple right, couple wrong. Moving on. The pre-main event, NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez defending against Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. A triple threat match, Dan.
Yeah, I know how much you love triple threat matches. So, why don't you start?
I only have one con.
Oh, blimey, for a triple threat.
And it is that this was not too bad as triple threats go. Not too bad at all.
Blimey.
And that is because it wasn't quite as turn-takey as many of them are, because at first it was just 2-on-1. It wasn't a triple threat. It was a handicap match, and they were both on Roxanne Perez at the same time. So it kind of negated that triple threat effect that we often see. And then it kind of was, because they, for the umpteenth time, it seems, turned Toxic Attraction against each other, which I'm not a fan of, but I've covered that already. Other pros, Gigi Dolan pushed through the table.
Yeah.
That was good. And the finish, the super pop rocks from the top turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was fairly standard.
Yeah.
Nothing spectacular.
I'd say this match was fine. I wouldn't say it was amazing or anything. It was just fine. Could have been better.
Yeah, it definitely could. The winner, for a start, could have been better. I'm not fully on board with this Roxanne Perez is the prodigy type thinking. I don't think she's anything special.
No.
She's good, she's fine. But, to call her the prodigy and to be making out that she's the greatest women's wrestler since sliced bread, number 2, it's not doing it for me. And this match really exemplified that. If she was the prodigy, then this match would have been better because she'd have carried everything. Not that she needs to carry, Gigi Dolan. Gigi Dolan's fantastic.
Gigi Dolan's fantastic.
And JC Jane is improving. I think this was probably the best match that she's had. But she's still the Jannetty in that group.
Yeah.
JC Jannetty.
JC Jannetty.
I'm surprised they haven't used that. If you're out there, Shawn Michaels, whoever's in charge of NXT nowadays, you can have that one. Now you can, if you're going to break up Toxic Attraction, go down the mirroring of the Shawn Michaels Marty Jannetty breakup, including the barbershop window and everything. Just maybe use like Grayson Waller's TV screen or something. Make it happen on the Grayson Waller effect and just throw her through the
smash her through.
Yeah, carbon copy of that breakup. JC Jannetty. We both, unless you got anything else to add, we both went with Roxanne Perez for the retain. And so finally, I'm on the board. Woo!
Woo!
And as promised, with the ones.
Microphone's in the way.
I worked it out. Sometimes with the finger out, like that. But that's how he does it.
Well,
I went back and watched.
I'm on 3.
That's 1. V1!
V1.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that you've won this show.
Yes.
And that you will finish ahead because we have but one match left.
Yes, and I can definitely be assured what we both predicted on this.
Yeah, no shocks here. NXT Championship, Bron Breakker versus Grayson Waller. Yes, indeed, we both predicted Bron Breakker for the win because, of course, we did.
Yeah.
Anybody who thought Grayson Waller was going to win this, you should probably stop taking whatever it is you're taking that gives you those delusions.
Yeah.
Find another way to enjoy your time. I've got a series of pros and a series of cons.
Okay. Go on then.
Which would you like first? The good, the bad, or the ugly?
Let's go for the ugly.
Okay, so the ugly came right at the end of the match with Bron Breakker talking trash instead of finishing the match and his I run NXT tirade. That was not babyface at all. That was not very babyface. I feel like at that point, I'm almost like, oh, are they turning him heel and turning Grayson Waller face? Are they doing a double switch here? It just didn't fly for somebody who's supposed to be the top babyface of this brand, moving up to being, one of the top babyfaces on the main roster in a couple of months when that comes about. It did not mesh with the character for me. So I thought that was the ugly, to be honest. Didn't like that. Good or bad?
Let's go good.
Okay. Bron Breakker's speed before hitting that short arm clothesline. Like just bomb, 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 bomb. Absolute pace. I'm like, dude, that was amazing. We need to see more of that. That was incredible speed. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I enjoyed the knee to Bron Breakker's face from the turnbuckle. That looked dirty.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Bron Breakker gorilla pressing Grayson Waller and then just yeeting him into the cage. That was very nicely done. And the spear that was the ultimate finish after the ugly moment was just dirty and it looked brutal. And you stay down after that. That's definitely a spear finish. I dug that. That was the good.
Right. Now the bad.
The entrance.
Okay.
Bron Breakker coming through an already cut down the middle piece of paper and then doing a terrible job of causing any damage to it whatsoever.
Yes.
That was weird. And I don't know if you saw it, but there was a crowd member stood like right on the corner watching it. And then like as Bron Breakker moved to the right as part of his entrance, panned over, and the woman was just like...
Just walked off, didn't she?
Just showed her disgust with how that didn't work, and then just walked off. I'm like, that was better than the entrance. Yeah. That whole moment was incredible. I loved that so much.
Yeah.
And also from the beginning, the referee pushing the door to the cage shut in front of Bron Breakker so that it could be kicked into his face. I'm like, mate, you had one job. Grayson Waller gets in the cage, you shut the door. You had one job. You utter penis. What is wrong with you? It just looked awful.
Yeah.
Awful execution. Terrible spot.
Yeah.
Amateur hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, what did you think? Much sums up everything I've pretty much put.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an okay match. I didn't not like it, but knowing the result in advance, not because of a spoiler, but because of inevitability, took away from it. And then, some really strange moments to start and finish it.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we can look forward to what is going to be Bron Breakker and Carmelo Hayes at Stand and Deliver, and I do think that can go either way. I feel like Carmelo Hayes could win that one, so that'll be more exciting. Predictions. Yeah, we each get a point for Bron Breakker, which brings the final score for you to 4, takes me to 2. We'll add that to our scores to date, merging the 2 quarters now and going straight through to WrestleMania, so it takes my score to a whopping 33. Takes your score to 35.
What a comeback.
You are now ahead by 2. Still a lot to go. A lot of wrestling to go.
It's a comeback. It's a comeback, Jez.
If you say so. It's a comeback. If you say so.
It's a comeback.
He's just trying to manifest this into existence. If you keep saying comeback, look at that belt. It is beautiful.
It is sexy.
Look at the logo in the middle. It's just so pronounced and detailed. Yeah. One of us needs one of those like Mr. Kennedy style microphones. Like, I feel that's got to happen. Just drop down from the sky. Like maybe when I win the belt, I'll have that just drop down and I'll announce my own win on one of those Mr. Kennedy style microphones because they are cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you will.
I'll make it happen. I will. Last thing to do, and we forgot to do this last week, but what are you going to do, is to give NXT Vengeance Day a score out of 5. And I should think that the scoring system is fairly obvious today, but today, Dan, I ask you to give me a score out of 5 horribly dislocated fingers.
So, I do feel like this was very meh. So, I'm going straight down the middle, 2.5.
Yeah, I'm not too far away from you. It was definitely better than New Year's Evil. That is not saying much. I enjoyed them being, back on the road. This felt like a lot closer to the old takeovers that we used to have, but yeah, it could have been better. Yeah. I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to agree. 2.5. That seems absolutely fair. Straight down the middle. Yeah. And that is our show. Fairly succinct today.
Yeah.
No messing around. I can't think where we are next. I think it might be New Japan next. The show with Mercedes Moné and Kairi in Los Angeles. I think that's the next time that we are with you. Watch this space. Follow us on social media at Jez Sports, Facebook, Twitter. JezSports.com is now live, but it's slowly making its way to having full content and recruiting some people to do some writing and stuff. But it's all coming together.
It's all coming.
It's just a matter of time. But this obviously continues. The Main Event Podcast now closing in on its 150th episode.
Woohoo!
Not too far away. And We enjoy doing it. Hope you've enjoyed listening to it. Until next time, I've been Jez.
I've been the champion, Dan.
And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.